Thanks for joining us on the hot seat today. I'm your host, Greg Cardone. We have a very special guest all the way from San Antonio, Texas, Marcus Davila, Navy veteran. Thank you for your service. Also making his directorial debut on a feature film, The American Coyote. This is pretty interesting. I know you're going to want to hear all about it. So stay with us, and we'll be right back.
And your host, Greg Cardone.
Welcome and welcome back to the hot seat. I'm your host, Greg Cardone. And as usual, it's a beautiful day for an interview. Won't you be my guest? And speaking of interviews, we have all the way again from San Antonio, Texas, Marcus Davila. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Cardone. I appreciate it, sir.
Oh, this is great. You can call me Greg. That's okay.
All right.
But I do appreciate the respect and a lot of respect. And again, thank you for your service and very apropos to Veterans Day. So we are here and we're going to talk about your directorial debut for the American Coyote. I saw the trailer. I was impressed. And I spent a lot of time over the summer out west. I was in El Paso. I was in southern Arizona, and then I was in San Antonio. So the characters and or the actors in it look very authentic. Can you tell me a little bit about them?
I when I first I guess came up with the inception that I was going to create the film The American Coyote. One of the things that I wanted to be a mainstay of the film, and I wanted it to be as authentic as possible. It was I didn't want to create a documentary, but I wanted to create a film that would show a story, but I wanted the characters to be believable. I wanted them to just walk through life and carry it just easier than having to act. And I tried to find the absolute best that I could in my first film. I took my time, and I really feel like the cast and crew has done an amazing job in bringing a real feel to the film.
I was impressed when I saw it. I was like, are these guys like real? Well, I guess they're real. I don't want to know anything about their backgrounds. All I know is they had the look that fit the film. And that's very important with any film. The characters have to be, believable in there. So
Sure.
where did we all know that there's issues with, the border crossings and what we're dealing with. So it's also very timely with our current social issues. Is that what gave you the idea um, to do this? And like you said, to bring them in a different light that not every Mexican stereotype is a bad guy or a gangster?
It was something that was on my mind, definitely. But I feel like this story first began when I was a young child. The summers I would go to Mexico, Monterrey, and stay with my grandfather, and I really love spending time over there. But the culture there, they accepted me, but they lived in poverty, and it's a different poverty than's here. And this was 25 years ago, 30 years ago, and they're still living in the same poverty, to be honest, and their plight is understandable. Now we have a lot of Central Americans, South Americans that are coming up, and Mexicans are they're lumped in the group with them, but they're no longer the majority coming across. And I felt like it was a good time to tell the story of Efren, of someone who had a chance at life in Mexico, and went ahead and took his chances coming up to the US, and what happens Y'all are gonna have to stay tuned and watch the movie.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You can't give everything away.
Uh,
Was most of that was shot in San Antonio in the area?
yes, sir. Yeah, we've shot maybe I won't put a percentage amount, but most of the film we've shot in San Antonio. We've shot some in Pearsall, Texas, and I still have some scenes to film. I have some scenes that we filmed in Mexico, and it's just it's all coming together. I feel it is real and authentic as the story.
When you reached out to your contacts, they were pretty receptive in saying, you know what, I love your idea. I want to participate. And so you were able to get the backing, however you do it. People want to work, not, oh, yeah, I just want to be in it. And then you find out you did the load. So, tell us about some of the people that you reached out to. If you want to name names, I think you should. We need to let everybody know. And that's what this show is about. We're promoting you. I do love the idea about the Latin community. I think they're great people. Not, er-
Thank
I like everybody until they give me a reason not to like them. But
Absolutely.
that's the way I am. But mention if you want to mention a few names, please go ahead because we want other people to hear about them, and if they need to reach out for some of their projects, we're all about networking here. So yeah, give us some shout outs.
Sure. If we're going to start with shout outs, I'm going to start with Michael Ocho Torrena. He goes by Ocho, and he's a staple in the film business. Really created just his own path. He's done Christian films. He's done cartel films. He's gone on tour with Damien Chapa. He's somebody that I reached out to first for consejos for tips for tips on how I could bring this film to life. And he was the first one to come on board. And he's a fight core actor. He's a SAG actor, and somebody that I did not expect to come on. When he did, right after everything started falling into place, I got JJ Fernandez, another fantastic actor that works out of here in Houston, Texas. Recently, I ran into this promoter, and we had a great chat. His name's Robert Barrera, and he got a chance to get me Panchito Gomez, who's a Latin legend. Just it's a culmination of a lot of Latinos that want to help out the next generation. For my directorial debut, to have these actors working with me is it's just huge. I did not expect this type of help, and it's just fantastic. The Latin community has really come together in helping. Jesse Borrego and Victor Rivers, I've met a few times, and Jesse, he gives me tips and texts me every chance he gets, weekly, and I just feel like I'm under the umbrella of some Latin legends, and I really have a lot of help and support from not only experienced actors in the game, but also up and coming actors who are willing to offer their time and just come and spread the word for us. Even I have all types of friends that are just reaching out, and they just want to help. How can we help? Can we cast, crew, selling T-shirts? Like, what can we do to help you spread this film out? And it's really a humbling experience to have all the support that I have behind.
And that's great to hear. And to bring, a band of brotherhood, involved in it, it makes your job easier. Being this this first time I'm directing this, and,
Absolutely.
and to have the support, not oh, they just sit back and go, well, you're the director. That's not how it works. Everybody is a team. It's called it's a team when you make a movie, a film, and especially a feature film. How long is the film itself?
The film, I'm looking to keep it around 95 to 110 minutes. So just the shade under 2 hours is what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. Otherwise, it goes into a whole nother realm in there. You want to
Or
keep it enough that You don't want to tell everything. So when you make that next one, if you do a sequel, however you do it, it ties in. Not okay, we kind of saw everything, in there.
I,
I think that's great.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't want to create a saga with my initial film. I wanted to create something to leave the people that do watch the film, leave them wanting more. And that's what I feel like we have with the American Coyote. I feel like you can watch the film and you're gonna hop on Google after and see when part two is coming out, or see just to have the
Yeah,
interest in it. And that's what I'm looking to do with this film.
make them want more in there.
Sure, exactly.
Where did you come up with the names? And these are, I'm inquisitive. Inquiring minds want to know. So that's the way I ask questions that I feel are probably the same questions that our viewers like. Well, how did you come up with the name Lions Act Productions?
Well, I can't take credit for that one. That's my wife, and she's actually the president and founder of our company, Lions Act Productions. I'm the vice president, and she's awesome and a Los Angeles Film School alumni, and she's taught me everything that I know about directing and filming. And I just learned from her. I soaked it up and got a chance to offer my reality and my film directing, and everybody's jumped on board and offered their help, support, and it's immense.
That's great that you're able to work with your family
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
that, that it you're working towards the common goal, not oh, I have to live with you and now I have to work with you. You know,
No.
you don't want to bring that to the set. You don't want to do that. Well, we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to hear from our sponsors, Maximus Films, Oleander PR, and H. Melvin James, author extraordinaire. So when we come back, we've got a couple of interesting items we're going to address. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration paid for in part by Nuggos Wonder Nuggets. See Synth Wunderbark.
Welcome back. And again, I want to thank our sponsors, Maximus Films, Oleander PR, and H. Melvin James, Terrors Among the Wheat. So we have Marcus Davila. I did say that correctly again, hopefully.
Yeah.
And Marcus, Navy veteran, again, thank you for your service, making his directorial debut for the American Coyote in here. He's got the shirts. Remember, merchandise.
Yeah.
Merchandise is fantastic. So please support him. No doubt about it. And speaking of support, if you want to sponsor the hot seat, you can send us an email, hotseat813@gmail.com. Subject line, I would like to sponsor your show. Or if you want to be on our show, I want to be on your show. Just like Marcus. It's very simple. And look where we're going with his project. We're helping you promote yourself.
Absolutely.
We can't help you more than you don't want to help yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that's just the way it is. Marcus, earlier you were talking about the great support from the people that you've reached out to in making this film because, you know, even though you're the director, you cannot do everything.
Uh,
So, you want to thank everybody, but there's always that one person that really said, okay, I'm going to help you and we're going to make this happen. So tell us a little about that person.
if if I get a chance, I'd like to talk a little bit about Mr. Cyril DePaggio, the Mob King himself. if there's a path that this film I would like to emulate, it's his that he did with his film. He starred and directed his own film. He got a chance to go to Cannes, and the film has just been an international hit. It's something that people not only of his race but of other races were able to get a chance to appreciate. And you don't got to speak English because now subtitles are on films, and it's just it's an opportunity that we haven't always had before. And he's been such a staple in my life that his support is something that helps push me. I've gotten a chance to bounce ideas off of him, send him questions that I have about the process, about what I'm going through, and he's always gotten back to me. And this is as he's doing two films right now currently, while another film he has, just killing it all over the world. So this he's busy. He doesn't have to do this. He's not Mexican. He doesn't have to help this little old Mexican in San Antonio, but he does. And I'm infinitely grateful to Mr. DePaggio for his consulting with me, and he's executive producing our film. So there's not much that I could really ask more of him. He's been a blessing, a huge blessing to us over here at Lions Act Productions.
And that's fantastic. Where, well, I'm not working with you because you're not this race, creed, color, religious, that has to all be set aside.
I feel
We're
it.
here for one goal, and one goal only is to make a film
Yep.
and to make it successful.
Yep.
That is the goal. After that, it's in the film world, God's hands. That's, in the audience. But you just never know what's going to happen. And I think that's great that you could pick up the phone and call somebody and say, we're working on something. I have this idea. We're looking at it, and usually he'll come up with some questions, and rather than just saying do this, do this, do this. Well, but what about, did you think, well, yeah. And then sometimes you could wrap it around something else. And it was like, wow, problem solved, so you definitely need another brain in there to help, with your ideas and to move forward with it, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is we are going to come to the trailer, the American Coyote.
Yeah.
Hopefully I say that right. Coyote.
Yeah.
I
You
like
got it.
Machete. I love
Yeah.
Danny Trejo. Oh my, I love him.
Oh, we all do. He's to be protected at all costs.
Everybody wants him in there. I want
Oh,
Machete.
I can't wait to work with him one day. God willing, I'll get that crossed off my list. But I
That's it.
feel it's in the books. It's coming. It's coming.
Somebody who you're working with knows him somewhere,
Yeah.
and then, you know what? I can call him. But
Ab-
after that, you never know. Just making that call. So we're gonna take a look
All right.
at this trailer, The American Coyote. And when we come back, I want you to go through it and explain. You don't have to explain the whole movie, but what your thoughts were, and the characters I said were, to me, super authentic.
Thank,
And
thank you.
I think that's great. So let's take a look, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Baby, do you understand me now? Sometimes you see that I am bad. Don't you know what a life can always be an angel, but everything goes wrong, you see some bad. But I am just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
We're back with Marcus Davila making his directorial debut with the American Coyote. There you go. He's got the shirts for sale. Merch. It's all about the merch here. Marcus, that was actually a very good trailer. It flowed. And again, the characters, the authenticity of it, it's not anything that if you looked at and said, wow, that looks kind of hokey. That looked real. I've never seen it in person, but I can only imagine. But just the way you had it set up, it was real. So give us a little insight about kind of how it started and then transitioned to the end of it. So what what are you really trying to put out there in terms of the current human trafficking, drugs, money, cartel? We all know it goes on. So give us a little bit of insight on that.
I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to pick a person, a fictional person, and his name is Ephraim, and I wanted to put him in a situation where he has to flee and leave his home country, his family, and he's sent alone. He gets a ride up to the United States and gets separated from the people he's with, and his caretakers then after become the cartel, and they raise him. So he gets raised in the underworld, and you get a chance to see his rise and the things that he had to do to stay alive. I want people to not see every immigrant for as an immigrant. I want them to see them as a person, and sometimes it doesn't happen. I'm guilty of this as well. Right now, we have an influx of a lot of people coming into the United States, and our news portrays it one way. You go to the store and you see people outside the store that here in San Antonio are new to this country, and and they're struggling, and it's just another person. There's no there's no way around it. There's people that need to eat and do better for their lives. And some of these people have traveled from South America, Central America, and their path to here hasn't been the easiest one. There's a lot of people that have died, and the crossing is something that I wanted to talk about and share in my movie. The coyote is a person who crosses people from Mexico over here to the United States, and I wanted to name my movie The American Coyote because Ephraim grows up with the cartel and he becomes a human trafficker. And he spends so much time in America that he's known as the American Coyote. So he's trusted to bring these people across, that he'll get them safely. But it doesn't end there. There's a debt that needs to be paid, from these people, and the debt sometimes is raised, doubled, tripled, and these people can't pay for it. So the rest of their lives, they're working for these organizations. And I wanted to show what I could in these organizations. It's a lot more gruesome than I can show in this film, but I just wanted to give people an idea of what some of these people are going through and share a story. The Ephraim's story is a difficult one, and I don't want people to fall into the trap where, okay, this is a good person, this is a bad person. I want you to just watch the film, and when you leave the film and you see somebody that you know is an American, just don't judge them. We don't know what they've been through. Just give them the benefit of the doubt, because you have no idea what their life history has been, and they don't know what yours has been. All we know is that we're all here together, and at this point in time, all we can do is offer positivity if we want this world to be a better place. So I wanted to depict a rough story, a rough upbringing, a rough life, and that's why he becomes the most feared trafficker. He had no choice. He had no choice where to go to school. He had no choice of his friends. He had no choice of his job, and there was people that coming after him. Now, what do you do when somebody's coming after you? You fight or flight. He doesn't have the option of flight. So you're gonna get a chance to see Ephraim fight, and I think y'all are gonna enjoy the film.
That's tremendous. It really is. And it's very timely. And I do believe that people are leaving their countries because it's, I'm not going to, well, they're deplorable. The conditions. I'm not talking about the people. All
Sure.
right. But I'm going to use that word, but I'm using it not as a people word, but as their living conditions and their environment, that they'll do anything they can out of desperation to get out of a situation.
Sure.
And they do become the victims, as we all know. And, just watch the news. You don't, I'm not going to tell you anything that you already don't know, but I think the way that you presented that, and had somebody, who came and grew up through it, and now he has to deal with it. Sometimes you have to face the consequences,
Absolutely.
in there. That's fantastic, man. I really love that. So how much longer do you have before you see the completion of this film?
I have a couple more months of filming. I'm waiting for the Christmas lights to go up here in San Antonio. I have some really fantastic scenes that I'm waiting for the city to be decorated in so that I can film. And then that'll be the culmination of our filming. And then we'll enter post production, God willing, in January. And we're gonna get to work on it. My wife and I, we tag team on everything that we do. So if I edit 12 hours, she can edit 12 hours, and this film will be edited every day, all day, and we just work until the work is complete. And that's something that I'm really proud of my wife, is that she joins me on my projects, and I do the same for hers. If there's anything that I can do or help her with, she knows. Like one of our little small jokes is tag team, and she's the love
You're
of,
in.
yeah, she's the love of my
You're
life.
in.
But that's we have to do that tag teaming sometimes. And for example, she's editing currently as I'm writing and completing Vaqueros of Hawaii. I have a big studio in Hollywood that's interested, and I'm going to get that ready for them. But she's editing as I'm writing, and that's something that we're really excited to bring forth.
Vaqueros of Hawaii.
Yeah.
So it's Hawaiian cowboys.
Yes.
It, I remember seeing something about that a while ago, and and when I saw that, I was like, "Wow, that's kind of interesting." Just give us a little bit of insight on how and why the Hawaiians brought the Mexican cowboys in there. Because whoever
Yeah.
heard, all I knew is they picked pineapples and they surfed. That, well, I'm not being ignorant, but there's a
Yeah.
lot more to that. So yeah, fill us in on that.
Well, it was news to me too when I heard it. And when I one of my friends, very close friends, his name's Jerry Martinez, and he went and visited Hawaii with his wife. And there was some people that came to him, and they shared some stories, and they asked him, "Hey, do you know the Hispanic history of here in Hawaii?" And he said, "No, no, tell me." And when cattle were originally brought over into Hawaii, the men that were there wrangling and controlling the cattle were having problems. So some of the larger ranches, they contacted California, which was Mexico at the time. This was in the 1800s, and they brought over some Mexican cowboys to come and teach the Hawaiians how to control, how to wrangle these beasts. And now it's all history, but it's a history that's been lost and forgotten. And that's something that I just want to scratch the surface on and get a chance to show Hispanics in Hawaii helping each other, because that's why they went over. They went over to help, and ultimately in the end it did. And I can't wait to go and film in Hawaii. I know that it's going to be a fantastic shoot, and I'm really excited to film with the Hawaiian people. They're such a beautiful, sweet, and kind-hearted people that are just. I haven't met any mean Hawaiians, so they've really accepted my friendship, and the ones that I've reached out to have been so open to offering any type of support that they can. They're really excited for us to go over there and film and tell our story, and I'm excited too as well.
That sounds great to go ahead and relive history there,
Sure,
you know,
sure,
and bring that back. I think
yeah,
that's going to be fantastic.
yeah.
Any other projects? I know, you're working on the main project, and then you talk about, going to Hawaii. Um, you, as a director or a filmmaker, you're always thinking, okay,
Sure.
I've got two or three other. Your brain starts just going down the road. Where am I? So where are you going from here?
So me and my wife, we go one and one. So this is my first feature film. She offered the chance for my support, and I'm offering 100% of mine behind hers. And her film that she's going to be coming with forth is No One Cries for David. We came up with this story. It's based on a true story, and it's the story of David Childress and matricide here in San Antonio, Texas, and what happened leading up to the incident of why he killed his mother at 13 years old. He was abused, molested, and nobody's had a chance to hear his story. My wife, she contacted him. She went to school with him, and he offered us the opportunity to share his story in a film, in a book. And he's still incarcerated currently for the murder. He should be out in about 2 years. But it's a very different story than what we're telling right now. It's going to be a true life crime story, and with that, my wife is the same as myself in wanting to bring authenticity to the film. He's David Childress is has been through something that none of us have been through, obviously, and we want a chance to share his story because, like as the film title says, no one cries for David. When people hear somebody killed their mother, they instantly give them a stigma to, and that's not. It's not always right. Sometimes you gotta hear both sides of the story, and he's been treated pretty poorly, and he's accepted his judgment. He's moved on from it, and is now a believer in Christ. And I'm excited to tell his story so that people get a chance to judge him, not for what was on the news, but for his story as well, and to give him a fair shake at it. That's No One Cries for David, because nobody cried for David. And after that, we have a couple other flicks coming. I'm next after that. So I have a film called Vaqueros of Hawaii. And my wife has another one. We'll keep that one secret and surprise. But
Yeah.
I have one that I've been working on since a few years back, and I'm building it slowly because it's a sci-fi, and I really want to offer my my crowd that sees the film. I want them to see as realistic of a vision as I can bring to them. Hotel Mars is about a group of travelers that they're going to be fleeing Earth. The Earth is going to be pretty much dying, and the richest people are going to be leaving Earth for Mars. And one hacker, he changes the flight log and sends a few poor people over there. So it's going to be interesting to see how everybody amalgamates, on the flight. And once they get to Mars, will these people be accepted? Will they be shunned? Once they're all on Mars, they're no longer, Earth people. Now they're all Martians. So do you accept somebody as they're there struggling with you, or do you hold judgment based on their history and their past experiences? And that's something that I feel hasn't been shown or talked about, but I'm excited to. I'm a really big dystopian fan. The Running Man is one of my favorite movies. I feel like I can get into a parallel universe and show this story and tell this story, and it'll also connect dramatically with people here, because nothing's forgiven, or nothing should be forsaken, and one day we may have to leave Earth, and this movie may be historical in 100 years, to where it's something that could possibly happen. Hopefully not, but it's my chance at showing what I feel my sci-fi film could be, and that's Hotel Mars. That's going to be where everybody stays. Hotel
That's
Mars.
it would be interesting if you try to see if people are going to carry their grudges and their prejudices from Earth to a distant planet that you're traveling. You'll probably be in cryogenic sleep. You're going to wake up. Nobody's really going to know each other until you
Until
start. Okay, you woke up. Okay, and then people are going to start to learn about other people.
yeah, exactly.
Are
So
are,
it's
are
deep.
these people still going to be the same people holding grudges? The poor people are poor, trying to get better. Is it still going to be one of those classes? Upper class, lower class, no class
And
type.
that's what I want to show. I want everybody to get a chance to learn learn a little bit about humanity because it's one of our biggest strengths. I feel is helping out our fellow man. And if there's something that I would like to pass on, it's that we can always help the next person.
And that's what it's about. If you can have an impact or help people benefit from your story,
Yeah,
and that's again what we do here. We
yeah,
want your films, people to watch your films, and hopefully they'll have an impact in a positive way, and maybe change some of the stigmas that we're being force fed and pummeled. I don't watch the news. I don't even watch TV.
sure.
I'm not going to go on one of my rants, but I get about 2 minutes of my own time here.
Yeah,
But I don't watch TV. I turn it on for the bird. I come into my little studio here. I'm editing. I'm doing something, getting ready for another show. You just don't hit the record button and it happens. It doesn't work like that, you
yeah.
know. So, the preparation to do the show, I got to be in makeup for
Oh,
about for about 3 seconds because there's my brush. No.
took me an hour to shave my head. I hope you.
Yeah, you had to look good. I love the lighting, that side lighting, in there. Look, cast that shadow, right? You
Yeah,
get that triangle. Let's get the triangle on the other side of his
yeah,
nose. But people are so freaked. It's incredible. Honk your horn, and the guy is just about ready. If he had a bazooka, he would blow your car up just because you honked at him because he was on his phone causing all that.
yeah.
Okay, I
It's
feel better now.
It's
I
a
feel,
tempestuous world we live in. Absolutely, I can agree with that right now.
well, I don't know who's going to help us. You got to help yourself first in there.
I will. I'll help everybody that
Yeah.
I can. Just know.
Well, when you mentioned you're going to be shooting in December in San Antonio with the Christmas lights,
Yeah.
I am making a trip out there. I
Oh,
will. So, if you need a cameo appearance, of
an awesome broadcaster. We can definitely do that.
well, I did win a few Best Supporting Actor awards on the global market. Did I just say that? I
Uh,
won't blast it in here,
send.
but
Let me get my assistant to send you.
yeah, okay. You just say, okay, we need Greg. Just walk across. I
Yeah,
figured I can do like a Stanley.
yeah,
I don't need to say words or anything like that. No, but I definitely, when I come out there and I found out that you did not live too far from where I will be staying,
sure.
we need to get together and just, and this is part of it. Here we are. And again, how do things happen? And things happen for a reason.
Sure.
It was you answered a Facebook post, and I just made one of those most generic posts. What do you want to promote? World peace, hunger, whatever. And you said my movie.
I'm the tip of the
Okay.
spear. Yeah, it's
And
there's
and
a lot behind, but it was the first chance for me to get in to break through. I have to start somewhere, and then after everything flows.
When
But
people start seeing this, I put it on my page. The YouTube link, and people see it. We've getting, real good responses. We're not going to expect a million views, but things take time for the short
right,
time that we've kind of been doing this.
yeah,
So to give people the opportunity to promote themselves is priceless, because it doesn't cost anybody to be on the show and to sit in the hot seat there. We're pretty chill on here, but
yeah,
it, it's it only benefits you. And if you do not want to succeed and move on and better yourself, then sit at home,
yeah,
scroll everybody's Facebook. And while they're out there, and I have friends, I booked it. I used to be like that.
yeah,
I've gotten way more reserved. You know what? I show here. I show an on-set picture, and that's kind of it, and go. But if it's all about self-promotion, and we're here to help you. And I'll tell you, this has been a great interview. I learned a lot. I've learned a lot about you as a person who I've never met before in there. Uh, Looking in the direction where you're going, I think is fantastic. The people that you have, the support of the Latino community. We're going to be working on a project that it's already been scripted in there, and it has to deal with, the Latino community. So, maybe we could collaborate somewhere in there. It's all about who maybe somebody's interested. And that's the way the film industry works.
absolutely. I
And
completely agree. Yeah,
but this, again, I want to thank you. I can't thank you enough. Just the way you brought the emotion and the feeling, and your ideas to this film. Even though I only saw a trailer of it, I can only imagine the way it's gonna go, because it appears to be, it's done correctly. It's done right. You just didn't say, "Hey guys, we're gonna make a movie this weekend." Eh,
no,
That's what your project looked like. Is you made a movie this weekend.
yeah,
Nothing against it.
yeah,
If that's what you do, that's what you do. But if you're serious about doing it, which you are, and the people that you're working with, and the support that you're getting, I think that's great. And I wish you the best of luck here. I love to see people do great, because like I said, I may get that phone call one day, Greg, we need you out here.
yeah. You will. You definitely will.
you
Yeah,
know Ob
I'll
Greg Kenobi, you're our only hope.
maybe you're on Hotel Mars, baby. It's all got to start somewhere, and sometimes you just have to take the chance. You got to dive in, and you may not see the bottom, but as long as you can tread water, it's all going to be all right. You just have to have faith, and if you don't, find a faith, and don't look back. Just look forward and push through. And if you don't have a support system, email us. We'll support you. We're those type of people where I shared somebody's post today that I've never met before. I had him as a friend 2 days ago, and he had 100 people at his first film showing in Arkansas. Awesome, just awesome. I love supporting people, and if there's something that I like everybody to take from this, it's that us at Lions Act Productions, we're here to support you. It may not always be in the time that you want, because we have our own projects going as well, but we're human here, and we're just trying to tell stories that everybody can relate to. And if you can't, watch the film, check it out, and then you'll get a chance to see our side of the story.
Fantastic. I think that's great. Well, again, Marcus, thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
Carry on. The best of luck with this movie. I can't wait to see it, and I'm really psyched. I'm going out there for a specific reason,
Yeah,
but seeing you will be the next best, the second best reason, to be out there and just meet you in person. And I'd love to meet, if you had any of your cast there, and just meet them in person. And I'd love to just go, you guys looked amazing, and talk to them and feel their vibe, and so I can take away something and leave and go, wow, that was something meaningful to me,
Yes,
when you start getting a little older, as and it starts looking this color, things start to mean a little bit more. I'll just tell you something. The other night I was working. I work a part-time gig at night, which is a lot of fun. And, I was talking and I had a guest come up to me and, I complimented him on how well he treated his family and, took care of them and so on and so forth. And he goes, I was watching you. You just have, all of this energy and going. And I looked at him, I said, in my age, I'm just looking for another level of tranquility. And he just is like, you didn't seem too, I was like, I may, but I'm just looking for another level of tranquility. And he just was like, he looked at me and smiled and he didn't know what to say. He goes, just shaking his head like, maybe I need to try to go there.
Yeah. So,
So,
I'd like authenticity to be something that if there was a trademark for my films, I'd love for people just to know when they go and see a Marcus Davila film that they're gonna see some real grit, real actors, and the best story that we can tell is just an honest one. And I feel like Ephraim's story is honest. No One Cries for David is honest. Hotel Mars is honest. Vaqueros of Hawaii is honest, and it's something that we can base our bottom dollar on and make films that are for us. I'm not worried about making a profit on these films. I make these films because I want to make these films. I'm not worried about where it goes from there. This is my first film, and I've secured an agent, distribution, an executive producer, a producer in Los Angeles, and this wasn't the intention. The intention was to make the movie the best that I can with the best people that I can, and that's what I feel that we're doing, and it'll all come through after. You put so much positivity into something that people will join you. Just take that chance, that leap of faith.
for the first time of what you're doing, you've accomplished way more than many people that have been doing this for a very long time.
Thank you.
And I commend you on that. It's a very difficult business to get into. It's a very difficult business to get far into it. And if you have people that believe in you and understand your philosophy, which I think is great, it all will work out in the end. People will they'll start seeing it, and you've got the right people, with you.
Yes, sir.
So again, this was a tremendous interview, Marcus. I can't wait to, see you out there in December. The best of luck. We'll be posting all of the film's information in our credits.
Okay.
If you like the show, I hope, because we're going to do it whether or not you like it. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. We're going to do the show and people want to be on it. So remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends, send an email to the hot seat 813@gmail.com. And as always, it's a beautiful day for an interview. Won't you be my guest? Thanks. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Greg. You too.
My pleasure.
This is Miklo Damien Chapa. I want to wish you the best on American Coyote. Let those locals forever. Good luck, man.